nominations where I'm with double evictee dynamic duo TJ and Bodie. Now, last week, Joel nominated TJ, our very own, for being a hypocrite, and Susanna for...
Sorry.
And Susanna for holding back to... Lucky I've had small children in my life, because when there were 3 or 4, they behaved like that. OK. He nominated Susanna for holding back to avoid nomination. He received no nomination points himself, but wound up twisted into the nomination pool by the power of Hayley's twist. Will he right this wrongdoing, or will he let sleeping dogs lie? Let's cross to the diary room.
Joel, who do you nominate for 2 points for eviction and why?
For 2 points this week, I shall nominate Susanna because she's sitting on the fence way too much when it comes to heated discussions such as last night and causes of conflict. Even though she has her opinion, she's still holding back on them in front of everybody.
Well, you must justify each nomination. How do you know she's holding back?
Because I was in the bathroom last night with Zoran and Susanna and talking about how she just wants to sit on the fence and she doesn't want to get involved in any of it, although she has perspectives and opinions on all of it.
How does that affect you?
Well, that shows me that she's doing that on purpose, so she's, well, under the radar. I'll say it again, she's under the radar, so it doesn't, yeah, she's not seeing she's not saying what she thinks in front of everybody.
Accepted. Who do you nominate for 1 point for eviction and why?
1 point for eviction, I'll nominate Travis for merely the fact he is the competition of this journey and this experience. After watching the rewards room reaction and watching everybody and how he's just a champion bloke, including myself, he is the major competition in this house at this present time. So I'm voting and nominating him for 1 point.
You need to be very clear. What are you actually nominating him for?
Because I think he is the best competition in this house. So it's a strategic vote.
And that's what you should say. That is all.
Thank you.
Susanna, to the diary room.
You know when the belt flicks slightly a little and he had them to hook through or something like that?
Susanna, who do you nominate for 2 points for eviction and why?
For 2 points, I nominate Emma. I've heard that she has been talking about me behind my back. She's been saying to people that I was greasing up to Nick the night that he had the rewards room, and I think this was a deliberate attempt to set people against me. She's also the first person of an evening to yell at people if they're keeping her awake, but the other morning she woke me up at 1 o'clock, well, I assume 1 o'clock, with her whispering and everything, and I found that to be really inconsiderate of her.
Why haven't you confronted her?
Why haven't I confronted her? I confronted everybody. I told everybody that, you know, they were loud and I was tired the next day.
You're nominating her, not everybody.
Yeah, well, so I haven't been exclusive with confronting people about the fact that they're keeping me awake.
Who do you nominate for 1 point for eviction and why?
I nominate Alicia for 1 point. This afternoon she threw a ball at my head, which hurt. She also interrupts me whenever I initiate a conversation, and also... Sorry. Oh, yes. Every night she's up and down, like, you know, she's sleeping in Billy's bed and then she's waking me up as she's going through. She's not particularly quiet. Like, she's swapping beds, she's giggling, she's whispering, and it's keeping me awake and it's driving me insane. I have confronted everybody, like I said, but yes, this is something that is really quite annoying to me.
That is all.
Thank you.
Now, what is it with Susanna? I don't see very much of her. Is she quiet? Is she an under-the-radar kind of person?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen much of her. The only conversation I've had is when she cried over socks.
Well, she nominated you last week for throwing a bug at her head, and then she nominated Alicia for throwing a ball at her head. Is there something about her head?
Yeah, she's a princess bitch.
She's a princess, is she?
She's so princess.
And
spent like $600 on a jumpsuit. Who does that?
How much?
$600 on a jumpsuit.
Oh, well, if you got it, flaunt it. Now, Travis got the first point he's ever got.
Yeah,
Is he the competition?
That was a huge shock. My favourite is Travis, and no one has a problem with him, and I think that's actually going to be his undoing, because he is going to be a huge competitor, simply because he is just a down-to-earth, says how it is, you know.
Oh, but logically that means the most dull and uninteresting person could potentially win. We don't want that. We want a valid winner. All right, it's Big Brother's special time of the week now when he gets to see Thomas the Tank Engine bravely tangle with him again. Twice Thomas has been penalised for his stumbling, half-hearted attempts at nomination combat. Will he show a bit more gusto this week, or will he melt like chocolate in the sun?
Thomas,
Big Brother.
who do you nominate for 2 points for eviction and why?
I nominate Demi for 2 points because of the remarks she made after Bodhi's farewell message last night. I found them to be insensitive and inflammatory to a situation that was already highly emotional.
Thomas, be warned before. You must be specific when you're nominating. Get to the point.
I feel that her remarks about Andrew and Hayley being fake were really inappropriate at the time. I felt like it should have been raised privately with them rather than in front of the whole group. And
You can't nominate for your other housemates. Why are you really nominating her?
That's the reason I'm really nominating her, because I felt like it made me feel I was already, upset for losing a housemate, and I felt that she could have shown me more respect by not raising that sort of an issue and creating such an argument for a time when I was already emotionally unstable.
Accepted. Who do you nominate for 1 point for eviction and why?
For 1 point, I nominate Hayley for her remarks made after Bodhi's farewell and during Bodhi's farewell message. I understand that she doesn't get along with him necessarily, but that doesn't mean that she should have any right to interrupt in his messages and be...
Thomas, you need to get to the points and you need to get there quickly. Why are you nominating her?
I nominate Hayley because I feel like her remarks were irresponsible and inflammatory towards the house's feeling towards Bodhi when he'd already left the house.
Accepted. That is all.
Thank you.
Prior to tonight, Thomas had never got any points other than one each week from Big Brother because he wasn't nominating well. What's happened? Why are people suddenly looking at him?
I think that Nick thing.
The Nick thing?
The Nick thing. You know how when Nick came in, Susanna and Thomas went at the opportunity to go in the rewards room with him, and they really took it on board and showed a really,
a snaky side.
A snaky, do anything sort of side.
Yeah.
But you were kind of keen on him at the beginning, weren't you?
Thomas?
Well, you gave him that whole...
No.
I don't know. Like, you did that whole flirting. Don't you flirt with me?
Yeah, it was flirty. Don't you step up. It was just a flirty, happy thing. And obviously, if once I pushed the issue and actually put it on him, he just backed away and he had nothing. So that was just like, yeah, right.
So you thought maybe there was something, and then you kind of tested the waters, and there was nothing.
Yeah, there was nothing.
But you thought maybe there was something. What attracted you in the first place?
On his behalf, yeah.
You thought he was attracted to you?
I'd love for him to love me. It doesn't mean I have to love him back.
Why? Why do you want people you don't want loving you? I mean, they're called stalkers.
No.
Why would you want that?
Because it's nice. It's a nice feeling to be loved. It
well,
is.
I'll love you. You don't need all those tag-alongs. You don't need that in your life. We'll have a talk, girl. OK, let's have a look at the tally board. All right, no, it's 2 pages. Oh, Emma's right up there on 8. Yes. Thomas is on 5. Remember, Emma has been saved twice previously, once by herself and once by Hayley. Thomas has 5. Zoran has 5. Rebecca has 3. Alicia has 2. And Demet has 2. Let's turn the page. Susanna has 2. Hayley has 1. Jamie has 1. And Travis has 1. But remember, we've got the power of the twist coming up. After the break, our last 2 housemates toss their explosives onto the bonfire of the vanities. And after that, of course, it's the terrifying twist. that was Bodie showing us how he picks up chicks in bars. Welcome back to our third nominations episode for 2007. 10 housemates have had their say and 2 more are just about to get dunked in the nomination.